Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Is it your ways that they gon' imitate? Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, that's when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul bony. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble, and have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, and always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob, cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life, yeah,
Yes. We are in here. Welcome back, Titan family. This is Mind, Body, and Black. And I'm with the host of the show, Tiffany. She's back again today for episode 3. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that hits our homes, our history, and our hearts: Black maternal health. We're taking wellness from a cultural lens and a psychological lens and a real lens to one our community actually lives through. From the challenges our mothers face in the medical system to the generational wisdom that's kept us strong to the changes we need right now. We're unpacking it all. So take a seat, breathe in, because when we talk mind, body, and black, we talk truth. How you feeling today, Tiffany?
I'm feeling fine. And yourself?
I'm feeling amazing, marvelous, marvelous. Thank you for asking. Um, so where we starting today? I'm excited
So,
for you to teach me about this.
all right. So today we're gonna be talking about Black maternal health, and for those that may not know what that means, Black maternal health deals with Black pregnancy, Black women, who's going through the beginning stage of their pregnancy or just getting ready to become mothers or whatnot. So that's what it means about maternal health. So, and the main purpose is to deal with the crisis of the Black maternal health. And in recent news, there has been some situations, some incidents that took place. And one of the incidents that happened was the one at Dallas, Texas, and the other one happened in Indiana. Okay. So 2 women, Black women, that were going into labor, pretty much they were turned away by those in the healthcare system. So there's a video. Both of the videos went viral on Instagram and TikTok. And I will tell you this, that it's very rough to watch. It's very heartbreaking because it goes back to how Black women, when it comes to maternal health, how they're pretty much, how they have to deal with those crises. So, to give some background, some details, I can go into the articles about the incident in Dallas, both the incident in Dallas and in Indiana, and also I would like to share some sources as well.
Did you want to start with the video, the information you had?
Well, you can share the videos, yeah.
Play the video first?
Yes.
Okay, which one do you want to cover first?
Let's show the one that was in Dallas.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna give a warning that this video is very disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. Both videos are disturbing at that.
Yes, viewer discretion is advised. Let me bring this up on the screen.
Okay.
Pause that. Add to stage. Okay. Again, viewer discretion is advised.
This guy got
is very graphic.
When's your due date? Right now. Is your due date?
Can you hear it?
What? How many times have you been pregnant?
3.
This is your 3rd pregnancy?
Is the sound working for you, Tiffany?
It's in my ass.
You have 2 babies at home?
Oh.
Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the Black ones?
Okay, this is the first time patient for you. Last name is Jones.
This was at Dallas Regional Medical Center.
You're not sure when her due date is.
Wow.
Her due
I
date is
just
the
said it
10th.
was the 10th.
Her due date is the 10th.
She had 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors.
Thank you.
Everybody say how they treat people here.
Oh yeah, wow, that was I mean, we all want calm nurses, but there's a thin line between not caring about the situation and uh, being a calm solution to the problem. Go ahead, Tiff.
Yeah, what you see, that nurse was very nonchalant and very unprofessional. Now I see that she was trying to do her job, trying to, ask questions, get the information in, but right now, that wasn't the time for her to just be so nonchalant. She has to be active. When you got a serious situation like that, because let me tell you something about pregnancy. Now, I never been pregnant, I never had kids, but I have sisters, okay, that got children. Pregnancy is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not something that you can just simply ignore, especially when it comes to a woman going into labor, being in contraction. That's something serious because pregnancy can be very risky. And when I say risky, it can get to a point that you're dealing with life or death situation. There has been stories about women who were in labor and died while they were in labor.
Mm.
Like, that's how risky pregnancy is. So with this nurse sitting back ignoring this young lady as she's crying and screaming for the doctor to come and take her to the hospital room or take her to the room or whatnot, it shows the level of, it shows that she was just very counterproductive and she was too nonchalant. You supposed to act on that situation. You supposed to jump on it right away. The moment that you see a patient like this, that's when that nurse should say, "All right, can we get the doctor in here? Can we send her to the room so she can be prepared to have this baby, etc." So, and this is, you can go to the next video.
Did you want to bring up you said you had some sources on this? Did you want to stick to the one first and then show the video when you go to the next
yeah,
one?
I do have some sources on here.
Yeah, let's pull up all of that first before we go to the next.
All right.
I'm gonna stay on Texas for a second and see what else. Okay, this was in Mesquite, Texas. Her son was born 12 minutes later. This woman had her in the waiting area for more than 30 minutes. The delivery was awful. Instead of taking her straight to labor and delivery, this was their response while she was in active labor. Yeah. And
so the lady that posted the video, her name is Cash Jones. She's showing her daughter Carrie Jones. All right, yeah, my screen is up here. Did you see the screen? It's not sharing?
It's sharing. I got you.
Okay. All right. Let me make sure. Okay, cool. So, all right, cool. All right. Anyways, it says, according to Cash, staff kept her daughter in the waiting room for more than 30 minutes before moving her to a delivery room where she gave birth 12 minutes later. All right. So the lady was asking the question, y'all treat your patients like this or just the black ones? Because again, there's been a history of discrimination against blacks in the health field. So, and this has happened to be one of them. There's a book called Medical Apartheid that goes into this. So people can check it out. Let me see. So it goes down here. It says that a 2023 report from the Policy Center for Maternal Health found that Black women experience 50 deaths for every 100,000 live births, and increased from the previous year. By comparison, mortality rates for whites, Hispanic, Asian women were below 20 per 100,000 births. And it says, in a separate video, Cash Jones said her daughter and the newborn were undergoing medical tests, claiming the baby was born with his eyes open due to the stress and trauma that occurred in a, I don't know how to say this word, in a triage area. So Dallas Regional Medical Center issued a statement according to the Houston Chronicle, saying it could not provide specific due to patient privacy laws, but it's reviewing this situation to understand what occurred. At Dallas Regional Medical Center, the safety, dignity, and well-being of our patients are always our highest priorities. The statement read, "We are committed to providing compassionate, high-quality care to every person who comes through our doors." All right. And so that's that information. Yeah. Um, like I said, it's just very hard to watch. And the number right here, 50 deaths for every 100,000 live births, that tells it all. That tells it all right there. It tells you. So the whole thing with the medical apartheid is real. Medical racism is real. And this is one of the reasons why you see that most black women would rather what they call at home birth. They would rather have a doula than to be at the medical facility waiting 30 minutes to just be seen by the doctors. Okay? So yeah, that's that article about Dallas, Texas. Now, if you want to go on to the next video, you can.
Mm-hmm. And that's a sad story, man. And I'm thinking, like, how often does this happen? You know, we're in the age of cell phones right now, so sure, I'm just thinking about how bad it's been too.
I'm quite sure this ain't the first time.
Mm-mm.
I'm quite sure this is not the first time.
You maybe want to look up some statistics on what the reports are
Oh
saying.
yeah, I got the statistics right here too as well.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to Indiana. Okay, yeah, Chicago news. Let me. While that does that. Okay, hold on. Let me turn this music down. DJ Genesis, I did drop that link if you want to head on up. Oh yeah, pause the music. Okay, here we go. And add this to the stage. Can you see it?
Not yet. Okay, there you go.
All right, I'm about to hit play.
Away from a Northwest. A mother says she gave birth to her baby in her car minutes after being turned away from a Northwest Indiana hospital.
The video shows her being wheeled out by hospital staff, and she's clearly in pain. Our SL Razai is live in Munster, where the woman and her baby are recovering right now. SL?
Yeah, Joe, Erica, the videos the family posted online have quickly gone viral. It shows them at another hospital about 30 minutes away from here in Crown Point. The family says 8 minutes after being turned away from there, their baby was born in their car. 911 dispatchers were on the phone with them and led them here to Community Hospital, where they say they were welcomed with open arms.
But is being kicked out of this hospital because she's in active labor.
This is video the family posted to Facebook showing Mercedes Wells being pushed down the hallway of a Crown Point hospital in a wheelchair. Her family says she was in active labor, but they say hospital staff told her because she was only dilated 3 centimeters, she would have to come back later. Her sister-in-law, Sharice Joy Thompson, says they were visiting family in Indiana, and the baby wasn't due for another couple of weeks.
I feel like my family's rights have been violated.
She says 8 minutes after being discharged from Franciscan Health in Crown Point, the baby was born in the car.
She said, I got to push. And so he was driving with one hand, ripped her pants off with the other hand, and looked down, and he said he could see the baby's head. And he was like, oh my God, here's the baby's head. He like grabbed a blanket, caught the baby, and then put the baby on my sister-in-law's chest, Mercedes' chest, and the umbilical, everything was still attached, and they kept on driving.
She says they're grateful for the staff at Community Hospital, where the family is now.
911 was able to call the hospital and give them notice that they were coming. And so there were 15 doctors and nurses outside waiting for them to arrive.
She called her brother a hero.
He was able to, be calm and deliver his baby in that kind of like pressure.
She shared how her sister-in-law is feeling right now.
So when I went to the hospital yesterday, when I opened up the door and Mercedes saw me, she just started crying because she feels violated. She feels unheard. She feels dismissed.
And right now, the family hopes hospital staff that turned Mercedes away are held responsible. For Franciscan Health in Crown Point says they've opened an internal investigation into the alleged incident. We know right now mom and baby are here recovering and doing well. Live in Munster, Indiana, I'm Aone Richardson, CBS News Chicago.
Wow, that's great to hear. What a story that is.
Right.
And the dad, it looked like he just kept driving down the road, one-handed catch.
One-handed catch. They funny for that.
I think the dad should have just stopped on the side of the road and just went on ahead and delivered the baby that way. You know what I'm saying? And then, but I understand. But yeah, he just, yeah.
Yeah, and that was making me think to a time, before public hospitals. This was actually just how it was. I'm sure they had midwives though, and people who had knowledge of how to actually do the delivery. So I'm still sure we had people in the community to help.
Yeah, that's the purpose of a doula. So a doula is like somebody in the community that is pretty much like a midwife. So they'll come by your home and they'll help deliver the baby, right? Help you get ready, help the woman go through the process of getting ready for the childbirth or whatnot. And then from there, the father is normally present. In this case, he's normally present. So if the woman chooses to have the baby in the bath water, like in what they call it, the water birth, she can do that. Or the woman can just have the baby, standing up or whatever the case may be, whatever she chooses. But yeah, basically the doula is there to support and basically help with the delivery process.
Nice. You just put me on to some more new information. Every time we link, man, you always upgrading my consciousness. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So doula's been around for a long time. You just don't hear much about them in the mainstream. As a matter of fact, Erykah Badu is a doula.
Sure.
Yeah, she is. She's a doula.
How you spell doula?
DOULA.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Shout out Connie's son in the building. How you feeling today?
You know me, King. I'm feeling I ain't numb yet. Peace. Peace, Queen Tiffany.
Hey, peace. How you doing?
Did you have any comments about anything you've seen so far?
Oh yeah, it's a deep demo. She dead on point. My observation, I think we all should be like doulas. Because we're all walking around in bodies. We don't know so much about ourselves. We can debate about scriptures and scrolls and everything outside of ourselves. If we knew who we was and how we operate, a lot of this shit outside of us wouldn't bother us. So that's my observation on it. Every man should know his body, and every woman should know hers. So that way they can't get fooled by the food and the children getting poked with different medicines as babies. Because just imagine how many parents just ask, I got a fresh daughter out here in California, and I go to all their doctor's appointments, and I make sure that she don't get poked with these new vaccines and these new things they got coming out saying, hey, this is a new thing. We want to get her for this. And I'm like, have it been out 30 years? If it ain't been out 30 years, it's not going in their body. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? Like, we're not experimenting because they just practicing. It's called malpractice. And remember, I was telling you that's why they spell Rite R-I-T-E, and not R-I-G-H-T, because they'll be lying. They are giving you the right aid. And it goes back to our kitchen. Our kitchen is our hospital. Our kitchens is our hospital of our house. So every time you get sick, people supposed to go to your kitchen and actually whip up something for you to get better. But the kitchens is actually sending us to the hospital, sending us to them, because it's the Drug and Food Administration who together. So if we monitor what we put in our body, we would know why the fertility rate is dropping, why certain things is happening to our anatomy, why our vibrations is off. We don't know ourselves. We just know how to get to the bag, stay up all night. I've been grinding hard, going hard, grinding and getting to it, but we don't know nothing. We don't even know we walking on 26 bones in our foot. Like we know nothing about ourselves, but we out here trying to strive. And I think if we know more about ourselves, a lot of this shit wouldn't take place.
Facts. Appreciate your commentary.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I agree with that. I agree. Oh, also,
you.
I would like to recommend a book that people should read. It's called The Hood Health Handbook, written by Supreme Understanding, See Best, A Life of Law, Volume 1 and 2. So there's some information I want to read from this book, okay? That goes into the concept about birthing babies and healthy children and whatnot. All right, so let me see. I'm trying to find something. Okay, so going back to what I was talking about, the doula. All right. So there's a page in this book, and it says, what are some of the advantages of home birth, birthing center births, and midwives, you ask? Well, let me name a few. One of the main things that you get with midwifery care is time and attention from a care provider, as opposed to the 5-minute office visits rushed by patients needed to get in behind you. As a matter of fact, home birth midwives will even visit you at home, so you don't even have to go anywhere as you get closer to your delivery. Using a midwife increases the chances that you will have a medication, epidural, free birth, which in turn decreases your risk of having to have a cesarean section, which is a C-section. And it also says at a home birth or birth center birth, you can't eat and drink during labor, which makes sense since what you are doing takes a lot of energy, hence the term labor. Whereas in a hospital, you are only allowed to eat ice chip. Ice chip, are you freaking kidding me? How do they expect a woman to be tied down to a bed with wires attached all over the place in a cold white room with machines beeping, strangers coming in and out, looking and poking at them for who knows how long, in pain, with just ice chip to help her get through all of that? I know women who have been in labor for over 48 hours. Come on, son, no food, nothing. That is just ridiculous. So, anyways, this person also said midwives are also skilled and patient enough to actually take the time to try to help your vagina stretch so that it doesn't tear while the baby is coming out. Whereas many doctors just cut you. This is called was it episiotomy? Before they before they see if you're going to even tear or not. Crazy thing is, most of them don't even ask you or tell you that they're going to do this. They just do it. And guess who has to deal with the cut, torn, sew, and swollen vagina in the end? You do. Midwives will also allow you to assume whatever position your body tells you to. Meaning, if you want to get on all fours, and she made a joke in here, which may be how you got pregnant in the first place. Just joking. Do squats, cartwheels, or lunges. You are free to do so. You can also have. Let me skip that part. Never mind. But anyways, let me skip some parts on here because I don't want to. I'll skip some parts on here. But anyway, in hospitals, you are usually limited to 2 support people. But at home or in a birthing center, you can have as many people as you want in the room with you. The whole family family can be there to support you if you want. It is also very likely for women who birth with midwives and doulas to be more successful at breastfeeding than those who don't have the constant support. Breastfeeding is the best feeding, by the way. If you didn't know, you'll read about that soon. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. Yeah. So the one that I read was volume 2. So this is the one that you pulling up is volume 1.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
looking at this cover and like all on the shop windows. Um, like I don't know if you can see it when I go over here. If is it showing like a zoom in of the
Uh,
store?
yeah, the corner store, drugstore, the corner stores, liquor stores that we go to in our communities and
Can
whatnot.
you? Is it showing a zoom in of the store as I'm holding my mouse over it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, so you can see it says like GMO inside. On the Newport pack, it says cancer on the ads. Down there
Hmm.
on the cigarettes, it says emphysema. I like how they did this.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Free
yeah,
flu
yeah.
shots, GMO inside, Mick diseases. they, instead of
So
McDonald's.
they using the signs and symbols. So
Hmm.
that's knowledge is what you know, and wisdom is how you live. Remember we was talking about that. Hey,
Say that again.
knowledge is what you know, and wisdom is how you live.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So you can know some things, but if you're not wise enough to not do it, what's the sense of knowing it? Like we know that the Surgeon General is on the pack of the backwoods. We still roll up. It don't stop a brother from rolling up. We still see it. So what she's saying, doctors only deliver the baby. A doula delivers the experience.
That's right.
That's
That's
why they get you in different positions. She show up like she was saying. She show up for house calls, and those things actually gets infused to us through the umbilical cord,
Hmm.
right? So if my mom was showing up to a stressful place every day while she was conceiving me, chances are I'll come out a kind of stressful baby with high anxiety. You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
called transgenerational epigenetics, what you describing. But I'm sorry, continue.
Oh, you good, Queen? You
Yeah.
good? I love the line. You good? What is called again?
Transgenerational epigenetics. Let me pull it up for you real quick. Because
And
what you
that's the
described,
same. That's the same thing I be thinking about. What happens to meat that we consume? You know, pigs can hear pigs getting slaughtered. You know, you hear your brother dying in the next room screaming. You know what I mean? So this we about to consume this steak, but we don't know how it died. You know what I'm saying? It probably died in terror. It probably died in fear. And now we consuming this fear-consumed bloody meat, and we wonder why we angry after we done ate this good meal. So all of this stuff can be digested. You know what I mean? Through the animals.
mm-hmm.
In my observation, you know what I mean. So just knowing that that's trauma. That's trauma. That's infused through the umbilical cord.
Exactly, absolutely, yes. So now we can go to the AI view because that's what people like. People like the AI. So
You about to
I'm
share your
gonna
screen?
yeah, I'm about to share my screen so people will
Sweet.
know what transgenerational epigenetic is. Because that's exactly what the brother is describing. So, transgenerational epigenetics from pregnancy involves how the maternal environment and lifestyle during pregnancy can create an epigenetic changes that may be passed down to future generations, affecting their health and development. Environmental factors like stress, diet, exposure to toxin can alter gene expression without changing the DNA sequence itself, creating a legacy for the offspring. These changes can be transmitted through the placenta or potentially through the germline, influencing traits related to health, disease risk, and behavior across generations. And then it goes into the key factors. The key factors influencing transgenerational epigenetics during pregnancy: maternal stress, psychosocial stress, anxiety, and depression during pregnancy can lead to epigenetic changes that impact the offspring's future mental and physical health. Nutrition. Maternal diet and nutritional status can influence the fetus epigenetic profile, affecting its susceptibility to condition like obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease later in life. Exposure to toxin and chemicals, environmental pollutants, Smoking and alcohol consumption during pregnancy are linked to abnormal epigenetics modification that can lead to neurological and developmental problems in the offspring. And it says maternal health and disease, maternal disorders like preeclampsia have been
Is
associated
it
with
true that dogs? Oh,
that has been associated with epigenetic changes in the placenta and fetus, impacting pregnancy outcomes and potentially the offspring health. And immune activation, maternal infections during pregnancy can trigger epigenetic changes in the developing fetus, which may contribute to neurodevelopmental disorders in later life, even across generations. Mm.
It get deep.
Oh yeah, it gets real deep. Oh yeah, yeah. So that's why women, when they're pregnant, right, they have to be careful when they're under stress, because when you under a lot, like the brother said, when you're under a lot of stress, you pass that down to your baby, and then that baby inherit all that stress and anger that you have gone through. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, like, yeah, and then not on top of that, when you deal with a lot of stress, it can cause women to have a miscarriage too.
Mm.
Yeah, like in the beginning stage of the pregnancy, yeah, that can cause a woman to have a miscarriage dealing with too much stress.
and every time you go to the hospital, it's just a stressful place.
Yeah,
So
it is.
I was looking up cesarean sections when you was talking about cesarean sections,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing about it is, what's heavy about it is, if just say a dog if you have to cut a dog out of a baby, I mean a baby out of a dog, that dog wouldn't let that child feed from it or nothing. It kills the connection to the animal.
Damn,
And
really?
animals know that. Yeah, it didn't actually come out of the womb. It wouldn't let, like, dogs just don't let random dogs come feed off their milk. You got to be they children. You know what I'm saying? It don't rock like that. So a
Yeah.
cesarean section actually takes the connection from. So they push for a cesarean section more than anything. And the first 3 months or the first 6 months after consumption, the breast is producing colostrum fluid. That's the most important time the baby's supposed to be getting that. That's why breastfeeding is important.
Yes. Yes. Now, sometime in some cases, a C-section is needed. Let's say if the mother is not able to deliver the child because the baby's umbilical cord is wrapped around the neck,
For
then
sure.
that will be the requirement to get an emergency C-section right away. Otherwise, the baby will end up dead.
For sure.
Because when my mother had me, right, my mom had to get a C-section, an emergency C-section, because my umbilical cord was wrapped around me. So yeah, she had no choice. She was not able to deliver. So sometimes a C-section is necessary if the mother
Yes.
is not
Yes.
able to deliver the child, in a natural way.
Yeah, I didn't mean to deliver it in that context. I understand if it was life or death. I
Yeah.
was I was speaking in the context of us dealing with our diets, and a lot of the moms is becoming younger and younger, so their body's not really fully developed. That's the thing. And then they diets, they on flaming hot chips, they ovaries. You know what I'm saying? It's just their body ain't even really even ready to go through
Flaming hot
nothing.
chips and cup noodles.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
Oh
just
yeah.
bad. So that'll rush the delivery process on top of going to school, being
Mm.
stressed, and trying to hide the baby and not know who the dad is and been around. So
Man,
that's heavy on any young lady running around out here who don't even know where to go pay for the lights and gas yet. Don't even know where that building at, and about to bring a child into the world. So, and going to the hospital, like we were saying, the ultraviolet lights. When we
Mhm.
born, we not supposed to be born under those bright lights. Those lights are too bright for a baby. That's why they come out screaming. We supposed to be born under candle lights. Supposed to be candle lit. Those artificial lights is shocking you. It's kind of they blinding. And just imagine what that does to your immune system. They do that as torture. They would put you in a room with those lights as torture. So why would I be born under those lights as a baby? If they leave those lights on, it's torture. It's the same. It's the same thing. So all of
Yeah.
that, the dolphin birth, they stopped the dolphin births.
Oh
yeah, that
well,
was deep.
yeah, I don't know anything about the dolphin birth.
Oh yeah, you can
All
look
right.
it up. You have births in the dolphins because the dolphins send shockwaves through the water, and our
Oh,
babies was
okay.
coming out extremely intelligent, and
Hmm.
so they stopped it because that's what the Africans was doing. So they stopped the dolphins' birth. They stopped us actually getting in the water with the dolphins because dolphins is docile creatures and they very intelligent and they love pregnant people and pregnant women. That's where the water birth come from, but they took the dolphins out of it.
Okay. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting information there. So A1, I want to share some articles.
Gotcha.
The one that I want to share is about epigenetics, how epigenetic inheritance fails to explain the black-white health gap.
Mm.
All right. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
So now this come from sciencedirect.com. Okay. All right. And then let's go into it. So down here, here's the abstract. Slavery, legal segregation, and ongoing discrimination have exacted an unfathomable toll on the black population in the United States, particularly with respect to the impact on health outcomes. In recent years, various research and activists have suggested that racial disparity in modern era can be attributed directly to the trauma of slavery, postulating that these unspeakable traumas led to epigenetic changes in slaves. Changes that have since been passed down to subsequent generation. Investigating those claims in this paper, we compromise a review of previous literature that consider the potential for transgenerational epigenetic transmission of trauma in humans. All right, so it goes down to the introduction. Well, yeah, let's go down to the introduction. Black Americans are nearly 3 times more likely to be hospitalized, nearly twice as likely to die from COVID-19 than white American. Now, this article came out in 2022, I believe. Yeah, no, February of 2025. So, all right. Anyways, going back down, it says that yeah, Black Americans are nearly 3 times more likely to be hospitalized and nearly twice as likely to die from COVID-19 than white American. These figures serve as a reminder of the persistence of Black-white health disparity in the United States. Compared with whites, Black Americans face a disproportionate disease burden, including a higher incidence of and mortality from hypertension, stroke, and diabetes. So, black life expectancy for many years has averaged 4 years less than white life expectancy. During the first year of the pandemic alone, the black white gap widened almost an additional 2 years. Black infant mortality is twice as high as white infants. Perversely, black mothers with the highest level of education experience the highest infant mortality rates among any racial or ethnic group in the United States. Black mothers are 3 times as likely as white mothers to die of pregnancy related causes. Okay. So these racial disparities in health outcomes are a function of racial disparity in environmental and experimental differences, including disparities in power, wealth, income, and what philosopher John Rawls aptly termed the social basis of self-respect. These modern gaps are products of both historical and ongoing racial disparities in federal land distribution policies, subsidization of home ownerships, access to well-paid employment, access to quality education, and access to adequate sanitation, nutrition, and medical care. And then it also goes down to talk about the housing market provides a strong illustration, structural racism and interpersonal discrimination in housing markets via historical redlining, racial covenants, and other sanctioned tactics have created in many locations a form of modern day segregation. Such a constraint imposes barriers to healthy lifestyles, limits access to quality medical care, decent housing, healthy food, clean water, and chronically strains physiological system, increasing susceptibility to illness. Such a relationship between individual and contextual factors expansively construed, and health is often referred to as the social determinants of health. So let me go down a little bit more. Subsequently, numerous studies have confirmed the central role of SDOH in explaining health outcomes and, in particular, health disparities. This direction connection between racism and health disparity is explicated further by fundamental cause theory as detailed by Deland and Link. As the authors explain, racism is a fundamental cause of racial disparities and socioeconomic status. These SES disparities in turn causes racial health disparities. And so there's a thing where you will hear that racism can make you sick. And that is true. Racism can make you sick. Racism can damage your body. And why is that? Because when you dealt with so much discrimination, not just dealing with just trauma, but just not getting the adequate resources that you need in your community and the type of environment that you live in due to the practice of racism taking place over the years, it does a serious damage to one's health. This is where the concept of health psychology comes in, because health psychology studies how the physical well-being, social well-being of a person has an impact on their mentality, their brain activity and whatnot, and how it affects them overall. So, yep. Just want to put that out there.
I didn't know that.
Great job, Queen. You did a great job with that too.
And then there's another article. Let me see. All right, so here's another article called Maternal Mortality Among Black Women in the United States. So let's get into that. Okay, yep. Let's get into that article. You guys can see it, if you can see the article. Okay, I can't see the article.
Oh, sorry.
There
you go.
Okay, so the maternal mortality among Black women in the United States. This comes from billerbrief.byu.edu. Okay, and it says the chances of a Black woman dying in the U.S. due to complication related to pregnancy or childbirth is 2 to 3 times more than white women in the United States, a disparity large enough to cause the national maternal mortality rate to increase at a steady rate. Challenges influencing this problem include implicit racial bias within the healthcare system that causes negligence, a lack of standardized healthcare to provide quality care in all parts of the United States, and the stress caused by systemic racism and its effect on Black females' bodies. Maternal death has detrimental effects on Black families and children by increasing the premature and infant death rate and the amount of motherless Black families. Practices providing external mental and physical support before, during, and after childbirth are best exemplified by local doula organizations such as the By My Side Birth Support Program in New York. Public health policy is also being researched and supported by organizations such as the National Partnership for Women and Families in Washington, D.C., to pass bills in support of reproductive care rights and other familial issues in government. California is an example with its recent hospital protocols to prepare for complications during childbirth. Now, it goes into, it say the key takeaways. So U.S. maternal mortality rate is higher than other wealthy countries because of the disproportionately high maternal death rate of Black women in the United States. Systemic racism is the root of the contributing factors that cause the disparity in Black maternal death, such as implicit bias, unstandardized health care, chronic stress that wears down the bodies of Black women. All right. Basically, just going over what it was said before, right? Also, it says thousands of children and families suffer mental, emotional, and financial challenges with the sudden loss of a mother due to pregnancy and labor complication. And there is a significant push for policy change to improve reproductive right for Black women, as well as multiple grassroots programs to provide birthing and pregnancy support via doulas. All right, so there's different terminologies here. Okay, so let's go over a few terminology. Implicit bias, bias that unconsciously affect action and understanding and can negatively impact individuals in a variety of situations. So what we dealt with in that video, in those two videos, right? Those women not only were, not only they were turned away, but they dealt with implicit bias. Okay. So they dealt with it because you had a case where the nurse ignored this woman the whole entire time while she's trying to ask her a question, right?
Way
Then,
too nonchalant.
way too nonchalant. Then you had another situation where a woman was turned away because she was not dilating at a certain centimeter. So they told her that she could not be in the hospital because she was not a certain amount or whatever. So what you saw was the implicit bias. And again, going back to what I stated before, pregnancy is very risky. It's very risky, especially when you're in labor, because that's when you deal with the ultimate challenge of life or death as a woman. That's where women have to really be faced with that reality. So to be ignored like that, I hope that both hospitals get sued. That's what I hope. Now, from what I found out is that the nurse, the white lady, she supposedly got fired. But that's not good enough. There needs to be a lawsuit. There needs to be a
remedy and reparation for that one.
Yes, because what you did, you ignored the needs of two patients.
And I want to play those two videos again. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they ignored the needs of those two patients, right? Who had an emergency, and they were going in labor, getting ready to give birth to their children. So
we're about to play those again.
You guys
you know what? I'm sorry. Let me introduce everybody.
Okay.
Today we have someone special stepping onto the platform, a woman whose name carries its own weight. Everybody welcome DJ Genesis. She's not just a DJ, she's a songwriter, a singer, an intellect, and a fierce advocate for women's rights. Her voice moves crowds, her pen moves cultures, and her message, it stands loud all on its own. Everybody give a round of applause for DJ Genesis hitting the panel today. How you feeling today, sis?
Hey, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Peace,
amazing. Thanks for asking.
So I'm like kind of like I'm kind of like what's it called, multitasking, because my dog got hit, and so I'm trying to like show my daughter at the same time what to do. But listen, I wanted to come up here because I was gonna do a show about this actually tonight, but it got like postponed. But I'm glad that you guys are doing this, because when I saw this, it reminded me of the situation that I encountered. See, here's the thing. A lot of times, you'll have a woman gets pregnant, right? Men, they don't really feel the connection sometimes they don't have a connection with the woman. When they're birthing a child, they don't really, feel like they should be there. But let me tell you how important it is for a man to be there at the birth of their child, right? If you don't know if that's your child or not, okay, cool. If it can't be there's one thing to have the mother there. See, what the mother was doing in that thing, I thought it was kind of gross, right? How she sat there and said, I bet you next time you're going to go to another hospital and this, that, the other, because this hospital, that's not the time, right, to have that conversation. I'm not sure if you saw that, but I'm not sure if what video version you played. But
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, she did say that.
I'm like, not the time to be having that discussion about whether she chose the right hospital or not, right? But I'm in Mesquite. This hospital that we're speaking of is like right down the street from me, right? Right down the street. I mean, literally, I could drive 10 minutes and be there. That hospital sucks, okay? For everybody, not just this mother, but anybody who goes there, they know that you're going to be waiting for an extended amount of time, and when you get in there, like you'll be put into the back And you know when they take your situation serious, how close you are to the nurse's station. If your behind is in the back, that means you the last. They don't take you seriously. If you're right by the nurse, okay, it's serious. And that's with any hospital. Unless they have like those kind of nurses stations to where the nurse is sitting outside your door, if you're not right next to that actual place where they're doing their nursing at, that means you are an afterthought. Okay, that's number one when you get admitted. Now the situation, this whole check-in thing, right? Listen, anyone that goes to that particular place knows that their whole check-in process, like first of all, they triage people in the actual lobby. So instead of you going back to the back to get your blood pressure taken and get your vitals taken, no, they have this whole station sitting in front of everybody to be triaged. So you're telling them what's going on with you in front of everybody. And I thought there was a whole thing called HIPAA that makes it separate where you should be private to do this. But imagine you go into a hospital, you're going through whatever, and they have a whole blood pressure and whatever thing, and you tell them in front of everybody what's going on. So this hospital is just a mess. It's a freaking mess. Okay, and then by the time they try to bring you back, they're gonna just throw you in a room somewhere, probably off to the side. So this is not something new. We know that this is like this, but Parkland is another one. Now I had a baby at Parkland, and let me tell you how janky it was. Okay. Listen, I had an epidural and everything like this. They put me on, so I'm a big woman. They put me on a bed that's, I would think, even smaller than a twin size bed to do my operation on to deliver my child, right? I felt like I was going to slide off that sucker, And I felt like I was balancing on it, even though I was under anesthesia. Another thing that also happens is you have a C-section situation. Wait. Let me back up. So the whole time they're asking me, "You want to get your tube tied? Tubes tied, tubes tied, tubes tied." Like the whole time I'm in, like whatever I'm going through, whatever. Oh, so they actually were bringing in people like all these other, because Parkland is like I would say. So another thing, watch out for these hospitals that are teaching hospitals, right? They will bring in, like, there'll be a doctor and like 15 other people training to be a doctor, and they keep coming in. Can we come in and like just see what's going on? And I mean, throughout your whole situation, they're just coming in and out. Another group of like doctors or like training doctors, and so you feel like a test study. They're coming in. Well, can I like take your blood pressure? Can I do your blood work and this, that, the other? And then they keep at, oh, so do you want to get like do you want to get a C-section? Do you want to get like your tubes tied? And so finally, I was in ICU with all this bullshit going on. In ICU. I'm already under stress. I can't rest and relax because you guys keep bringing people into the room to, I guess, like have them look at whatever the hell you're doing with me in the hospital. Every 5 minutes, you're like just coming in, interrupting me resting, which I should be. If I have a blood pressure, I'm going through preeclampsia. They're just coming in back to back, just in a circle. Like, okay, this doctor with his people, about 10 doctors. This person with 4 doctors. This person with 3 doctors. And that's at Parkland, just down the street from where this place is. So, like, I mean, if you don't have, and I'm going through I was considered at risk because I was an older pregnancy and Black and all this other stuff. So being an older pregnancy, they make you go to Parkland because that's like a more of a like an ICU type of a place. So after this whole thing was said and done, imagine they're not even giving me the full anesthesia. When I like actually did my epidural, I could feel everything. And what happens is once they deliver the baby, now I can feel the whole situation. They did kind of pump the thing one time to like let me like when they pulled the baby out, they did kind of pump that anesthesia real quick. I went and I came right back. Once they got the baby out, and this is the crazy part. If you're fathers, stay there. Do not tell them you have to leave. A lot of times, what happens is the baby gets born and everybody leaves the room to go with the baby. But the mother is there while they're sewing you up and they can lessen the anesthesia. This is what's crazy. I was screaming at the time. I could feel every stitch.
Wow.
I could feel everything
Wow.
going on. And I believe, and I said, can y'all please give me more anesthesia? I could feel it. I could feel it. I'm screaming. And then they came and gave me the same question. Do you want, before we stitch you up to finish this whole thing, do you want to get the tube tied? And honey, I was like, yes. First of all, the way they stitched me up was up and down instead of side to side, and I have had several other C-sections. They told me that, you know what, it's dangerous. I'm under anesthesia, by the way. I mean, they've already given me the epidural. I've been through this whole thing, had a baby, and they're asking me this question post having a baby in the room after this is like, I mean, it's crazy to ask this in that situation, right?
Right.
And of course, I'm like, you know what? Yes. And so I allowed them to tie my tubes and burn them and do all the whole thing. So that is how diabolical they can be with this whole thing, right?
So, sister, may I ask you a question? Or
Yes.
ask you a few questions? How long was you in labor? Or was it your first child? Or
No, I was never in labor. This is my third child, and I was never in labor. What happened is that I had COVID, didn't know it, and I started having chest pains because my blood pressure was like almost like, I mean, at like seizure level, you know, like if it would have one little tick up, I would have had a whole full seizure. And I didn't realize it is that when I like went in there, they began to pad the bed. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Because I was like, no, I think I should just go back home. I think I'm okay. And they're like, honey, you're about to, no, this is not going to.
You didn't know you was pregnant.
No, I knew I was pregnant. I didn't know that I was that, because high blood pressure and preeclampsia, like you don't really feel like that anything's going on. Like I was having like some chest pains, and I called the fire department, and then they like called the ambulance and brought me to the hospital. But then they said, "Listen, we're going to take the baby because your blood pressure is not going to go down. Your preeclampsia and it's very high." And it's not going to do that. It's going to go up from here. It's not going to, and if it goes up any further, you're going to like have a stroke and a seizure and whatever.
Wow.
So, and like, so it was like I had no choice but to get an emergency C-section. And then they said I have COVID. They found out I have COVID, which was creepy because when they were taking me throughout the whole unit, I think I was in ICU. Nobody was on that floor. No other women. I was the only woman on the floor.
Wow.
Which was creepy because I'm like, because of COVID. So I'm like, okay, was there, did they like stagger the COVID patients to where like if you had COVID, like you wouldn't be on the same floor? Why was I the only one on this floor? Like it was the most weirdest thing. And I felt like a science experiment because like every 5 minutes they would bring in different like student doctors to come in, and they were trying to get my blood pressure on. I was in there for 2 weeks. It got me so bad because they did so much LASIK on me that my like when you looked at my legs, all you saw was bones. You didn't see the muscles in my legs because all the water had been taken out of my body. It was crazy. It was a mess. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this video one more time for anybody who missed it or hasn't seen it again.
And once again, let me give you a warning. The video is pretty disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised.
Yes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Now is your due date.
No one.
Fuck. When's your due date? Right now is your due date. What? I mean, pregnant? 3. This is your 3rd pregnancy? Yes! You have 2 babies at home? It's in my ass! You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor. Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the Black ones?
Beverly, this is the first time I have a patient for you. Last name is Jones. She's G3P2. I'm not sure when her due date is.
Her due date is the 10th.
Her due date is the 10th.
She got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors.
Yeah, this is.
And see, what you hear is the sound of a woman that's
everybody say how they treat people here.
Distress, not just stress.
I said de-stress. Yeah, that's what I said. Yes.
Oh no, I was agreeing with you. I was saying de-stress,
yeah.
not just stress. She's in.
Yes, that's what you hear. And going back to the article, it shows that when she had the baby, I guess because she was under distress, that they had to check her and the baby, as far as like making sure that they're, as far as like, what I guess overall, like their overall health and whatnot. But
now what happened is, let me tell you what happened is that the baby, because of the stress of the situation, ended up pooing inside of the. What happens is that they try to get the baby out before it poos inside of like its own placenta. And so what happened is when the baby was born, is born with his eyes open and then poo.
Yeah.
Then it was green, because it had defecated. So yeah, that was like that's terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, when you're under that type of distress, I mean, it like going back to what you stated, that it could put you in that, it could put a woman in that situation. So, and I mean, like I said, this video was hard. Both videos was hard to like, for me to really just sit back and watch. I mean, it took a lot for me not to really be upset or, not to cry, because I mean, just imagine your loved one just going through that. You know what I'm saying? It is not much you can really do to actually save them. You can't even, stop the situation. You just have to sit there and just watch them go through it. It's just really hard. It's really painful. It's really painful. It's a really painful thing. So, and I'm hoping the mothers are doing better. I hope they're okay now. I hope that both of the babies are doing fine. Yeah, but this ain't something new. I mean, Black women have always dealt with this, and this always been the case. So it's like with Black women, we just have to worry about if we can trust the ones that are so-called professionals. Can we trust them with our lives? Can we trust them to make sure that they're going to give us a safe delivery? Can we even trust them with babies? And let me tell you what's crazy about this. The crazy part about it, and I thought this was absolutely insane. This is how messed up capitalism is. Capitalism is real messed up. Did you know that after you give birth to a child, after a woman give birth to a child, that they will be charged with holding the baby? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, A1.
Be charged with what? Like a
charged with holding the baby?
Yeah. I didn't even know that. Someone had told me that a while back, that when they was giving birth, right after they gave birth to a child, they looked at their bills. They had got a bill in the mail, whatnot, and they got charged for holding a baby.
Oh, that's
For
what you
holding their
meant.
child. Yeah.
I was trying to understand what you meant by holding the baby.
Yeah,
You
they was
mean
getting charged
just
for after
like
giving birth.
this?
Yeah, once
Okay.
the nurses clean the baby up and all of that, and hand the
Wow.
baby over to the mother. Yeah, they get charged for that.
It's deep. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you don't even own your own baby, so as soon as they're out, we sign them over to the state. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, it's really insane. So like the healthcare, as far as the health insurance concerned, when you go to these doctors, you have to make sure that they will really cover you. Otherwise, it's like you screwed.
And then that's when healthcare and all these insurance conversations, that are centered around politics, they do come into play.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Did you ever have to go through that, sister? Being charged extra
You know
money?
what? I didn't. You know what? The VA. Thank God I was a veteran. I didn't never have to like be charged for my birth. But
Oh,
imagine. They're gonna charge you for everything, every single thing. And I think that's sick. That they were charged for holding the baby. But my baby ended up passing on, and it was the most craziest thing because they had is this whole thing called neck. Now they have this thing where they give the baby like this milk that are like from donors, and I believe that that's what gave my baby neck. And I have a lawsuit right now with the Children's Medical Center because what this thing is called is necrotizing enterocolitis, and what happens is that the whole thing, it was just really traumatizing. So, but when they I guess like the breast milk they use messed up with the stomach. I don't know if it might have been from another race of person or the person might whatever.
Wait, they use somebody else's breast milk?
Yes, because I wasn't able to like express enough milk, so they used another donor breast milk to feed my baby, and so it gave him neck, and so he ended up dying because his intestines like got infected or whatever, got like I guess like I don't know what the name is. It's swelled up, and then they did an operation, and his intestines burst out of his thing. And so when I came there, they just had a towel over him. They couldn't put the intestines back in, and they were just like, "Well, we just don't know. I don't know." And I'm like, "You don't know? You don't know?
Wow.
This whole thing is just." And before that, he was up there cool, right? So imagine you see your baby. And one thing, he's up there cool, he's thriving, he's doing good, and then 8 hours later, he's dead.
Wow.
So it doesn't just only happen to the mothers, but also you gotta watch out, especially boy children. I think there's something about that. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then we had a situation out here because I'm in the South. I'm in Georgia, Atlanta. So there's a hospital in Metro Atlanta, right, which is called Southern Regional, and they're a terrible hospital. They are terrible. But anyways, there was a couple that went there for the child delivery, and what happened was, as the mother was pushing the baby out, the doctor, you know how the doctor rotate the baby, to like kind of help get them out the womb or whatnot. So as the doctor was supposedly rotate this baby, right, he messed around and took this. Well, it was a she actually. So she messed around and took the baby's head out off the body, like the baby's head came off the body. So, yeah, while the mother was going through the process of delivering the baby, and so the family ended up filing a lawsuit against them because of that incident. So yeah, they filed a major lawsuit at that. But yeah, it was just like, I don't know if the doctor was just being careless and not careful, or maybe it was just a medical mistake on the doctor's end. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, Yeah, it was a situation where the baby was coming out and the doctor, like I said, I guess the doctor was being too aggressive, and the baby head was snapped off the body. Like the baby
Oh
head came
man,
off the body. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, it happened. As a matter of fact, I can pull up the information right now.
Yep, go ahead, share your screen.
So let me just say this too: is that after I had given birth to my child, the interesting thing is that I had to go through at least like 4 weeks of well, I would say a month of going because Parkland had a program because and thank God they had this. It was ran by a black nurse because they this black nurse knows about like that black women die, and so after giving birth, so she created a whole program here in Dallas to where you come the first like month after having your child so that they can like check on you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like they just let you go. So I
Um.
think for that program and for that lady who started that because that is probably the only reason why I'm still alive right now because
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's really deep. Here's the article right here. It's really, yeah, that's really deep. Well, that's a great thing that you got support system around. Can you post the
Mm-hmm.
article up? All right. So here it is. So right here it says jury awards $2.25 million to parents of decapitated
What?
baby whose autopsy was shared on social media. Right. It says a jury in Fulton County, Georgia, awarded $2.25 million in damages to the parents of a baby who was decapitated during delivery and whose autopsy was posted on social media without his parents' consent. So it says the parents, Trevon Taylor and Jessica Ross, will receive $2 million in compensatory damages and additional $250,000 in punitive damages against the pathologist who posted the video, Dr. Jason Gates and Medical Diagnostic Choices in Atlanta. The parents sued Gates in September of 2023 for alleged invasion of privacy, fraud, and intentional infliction on emotional distress. Okay. So it says, while we are pleased that a jury punished Dr. Jason Gates for his re, reprehensible behavior, nothing can ease the pain that the parents, Jessica Ross and Trevin Isaiah Taylor Sr., have experienced in losing their baby boy in such a horrific way, attorneys for the family said in a statement Wednesday. Gates did not immediately respond to an NBC News request for comment. The baby was deceased at the time of his delivery on July the 10th of 2023. The lawsuit stated on July the 12th, Ross contracted Gates to conduct an autopsy. I don't know. I think they meant contacted. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, Ross contacted Gates to conduct an autopsy for $2,500, $2,500. So Ross and Taylor did not permit Gates to share images of the autopsy through the contract or verbally according to the lawsuit. Yeah. So it says Gates uploaded multiple videos to his Instagram account that month showing in graphic and grisly detail a post-mortem examination of the decapitated severe head of baby Isaiah as well as the baby's body. The suit stated at the time Gates' social media account showed a history of posting photos and videos of other autopsies. That account has been taken down, but he has at least one other account on YouTube. So, yeah, but yep, that's yeah. It was very gruesome. I didn't see the video. I don't want to see the video, but yeah, the story is very gruesome. It's very tragic.
Yeah, that's a sad story right there. I don't know how I didn't hear anything about that. Like
Yeah,
that's
it was on the
crazy.
news. Yeah, it was on the news. Yep. Yep. So said that the doctor that was delivering the baby, grabbed the baby's head and the baby head came off. Yep. So yeah, you
Sad
just
story.
it is. It is. We don't have a lot of resources like that in our communities. Um, to where we can get proper care. So, and even you gotta watch out for these so-called free clinics. Um, sometimes they come with benefits, but at the same time, they may not give you the proper resources that you need. You know what I'm saying? They may not give you the proper care. So it seems like the best hospital to go to is the ones that's way out in the suburbs, the ones that are very expensive. But
I feel we should educate ourselves. Bottom line, period. If
yeah,
we keep on looking for stuff outside ourselves, we'll never get it. You will never get it.
I
If you
think
end
that
up,
the
if you
men need to step up and be there, because I think it's one thing when you have just your mom there or you're there by yourself like I was. But if I had like
wow,
even if you have like a man there, they're not fixing to try to pull all this BS. I think that when you actually can show, what I'm saying, the man being there and being concerned. I mean, I think that's a big difference. It makes a huge difference in that situation. So
yeah. Well, in the second video, the woman who had the baby in Indiana, her husband was there, and he was trying to get them to like hurry up and put her in the emergency room, but they just basically told her that she was not a certain centimeter and she had to go back home. So he was trying to rush her to another hospital, but by then she had the baby, but he was able to get her to another location though. But yeah, she had the
right,
baby
that's
out
where
there.
that male, because when you're going through labor, you're not able to think, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she was able to hold her composure, and she wasn't screaming and everything like the other lady was. But I think that that's also a part of, like, that calming spirit. So these men need to be there when they. I don't care if you're with the woman or not. Be there during your child's birth,
Exactly.
whether
that's
you
in,
know it or not.
it's very that's very important. Knowledge trumps all that. If you have like male men don't know how it feels to deliver a baby. We don't have no emotions basically tied to it, to the point of where we feel the pain and we know exactly what you're going through, the cramps. Women do. So it
Right.
should be a homegirl there. It should be a doula there.
No,
You
it
know what I
should be.
mean?
It should also, the main thing is the male presence. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's one thing to have a woman freaking out, but it's another to have a father freaking out. I think that
That
they.
don't look good on a man. A man's supposed to
No,
be
no, no,
calm.
no.
That don't
Listen,
look good on a male.
no.
But when it comes to his child,
You're not hearing me.
right.
If a man,
If a man freaking out, the first thing they're gonna say to a black man is, "Why you don't know? You're angry at us because we're not using our expertise. We sat down and we learned. How come you don't know? You had sex
so is
with
that
this
what you've
lady."
experienced, or what are you saying?
No, that's just the fact of the matter. We should actually know what's going on. Our kitchens is our hospitals. We should know what's going on. We actually are committing to having sex. We
What I'm,
actually
what
are going out on dates.
about in a situation where it's biased, they're already thinking that you're a single mammy with 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? It's your 15th. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that part.
So when the man is there and as a father figure, they are going to treat you a hell of a lot different. I mean, I don't think you should. I think that you should probably try to do something more natural and probably do a doula and do the doula birth anyway. But if you have to go to a hospital, you need to make sure that you have a male presence there, whether it's your father, your brother, some male thing, because they it's a big difference in hearing the mom be frantic or your mother be frantic or hearing a whole grown man like say
Right.
was
I get it because I was there for
like
my daughter being born here, and I put people out the room. It was too many people in there. I said, "You gotta go. You gotta go." It's way too many people in here with her spread eagle, and they had interns in there trying to learn. And all, no, we just ain't the time for that. My daughter's coming. We need people out here who know what they doing. Give me 3 people in here. So you absolutely right. I've been there when my children was conceived, so I get it. However, it's still an underlying factor of a black man. When we somewhere and we even if we speaking up right, we always thinking about these 3 numbers, and it's called 911. And that equalizes a black man for even speaking up for what's right. So that's always in the back of our mind as men when we show up to a hospital or any place. We feel more control up under our houses where we pay rent at and all that. So to bring it to the house is more, you know what I mean, more of a conscious decision to us to start having babies at home so the brother can be there, so the father can be there. We don't have to deal with someone who's malpracticing. They are not professionals, they are not experts. They are practicing medicine on us and we expecting them to get it right every time. They are human beings. They choosing to learn about the body just like we should because we're walking around in them. So, and it's just as simple as that, you know.
Here's a question though, Connie. So how much does it cost to hire a doula? Do you know?
It costs about an hour a day to sit down and actually read and learn about the body. Like we keep deflecting on us actually learning and putting it on other people outside of ourselves. That's what I don't want to do. That's not the conversation I want to have. I want to have the accountability. Can we account how many abilities we have to actually get this done ourselves?
I think you're missing my point. You
I
know,
hear you loud and clear, Queen.
there's a certain aspect of having a child that is very about medical
So
situation.
can I ask you a question?
Doula would know when it's a distress situation to where you need to go to a hospital. A doula would know. So unless there's more male doulas, if he's a just because you know how to deliver a child does not mean that you know when that child might be in distress, when that child might be breached, when you have to go to actual hospital because there are certain signs that the woman is in distress. So it's not just a matter of that. Oh, we just need to just start having our children at home more. Well, there's like birth is listen. This is a life or death. Having a child is a life. You are at the brink of death.
Exactly.
So this is not something to just like do like on your bicycle, like
I
hey,
get it.
everybody.
This is not something that you would trust somebody from another country to tell you about. This is something you would trust your auntie, your grandmother, and people in your family who have went through this before. And we gather all of this knowledge under one roof. The hospital only have the machines as you speaking upon. If I had any if my woman had any type of pregnancy complications, the way you've been talking on here, I would call on you for your expertise before I go to a doctor because I know you know a lot about the womb, the anatomy, because you're experienced. I'm not going to go trust no other culture or no other race. And then all they have is the equipment at the hospital, the love and the doula. The doula delivers the experience. The doctor just delivered the baby. So if we share more of them knowledges that your auntie have, that great auntie have, that because if I ask you how many women have had babies in your family, it's a lot. So how come that knowledge is not in books around the house? How come she ain't got a pamphlet that she wrote when she had hers? This is a complication. Men is not going to know the complications. Y'all feel that. So y'all should be able to share that with each other and pass that knowledge on. That should be a book that's going around so we don't have to deal with those doctors or none of that because we created it. We actually going through it. That's all I'm saying, Queen. I'm with you.
Right. And piggyback on what both of y'all saying, y'all both have a point. You have a point, brother, and the sister also have a point. Yes, it's necessary that we should have some form of doulas or midwives in our community. But those individuals, um, we have to make sure we have individuals that we can trust, that know what they're doing and know about the female anatomy and how the process of birthing works or whatnot. But also, if the doula tells you that there's certain things that we can't do as far as like if there's a situation where there's a breech birth or if a situation where There might be a serious complication to where the mother cannot deliver the child. Some things might be out the hands of the doula. That means that it might not be in that person's control. So the best thing to do is to maybe go to the doctor.
Does that happen at the hospital too?
I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, but you got, again, you have to go to a place where you know that you can trust. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every
You
hospital.
hope you can trust.
Hold on, wait. Not every hospital is trustworthy. As we can see in this situation with those two hospitals, those places show that they're not trustworthy. But what I'm saying is sometimes a doula may not be able to do certain things. So it may require to have a doctor come in and, check out what's going on to see what's taking place. If there's a doctor in the local area that's in that field of, study or whatnot, then they can come in and do the work. Or otherwise, you would have to go to the hospital to get the rest of it done to make sure that there is no other serious situation going on. So I'm all for that, and I agree with what you're saying, but I also see what the sister is saying too. She makes a valid point on that, and this is coming from her experience. So yeah, so basically, I'm looking at both sides of it.
And doulas also should have like a group of medical professionals on call, like when they are doing a birth. So if something goes wrong, that doctor can like make it to the hospital. So this is not something birthing. Even back in the day, what I'm saying, you might have had that special woman that just knows a woman's body, knows when things are going wrong, and knows what to do in that situation. Giving birth is not something that you just can just do, like popping, like say if your arm is dislocated. This is, like I said, a life or death situation for the child and the mother. So you have to have a trained professional. You know what I'm saying? Because like it could go wrong at any moment, and that could be the life of the mother and the child, or either or. So this is not like something you just do because you know what I'm saying? Thank God, that God is able to, certain women are able to like give birth and have no complication. But you need to be able to, if you see a complication, be able to recognize it and be able to have somebody on call to deal with that complication, or at least have an ambulance, whatever. So it's not just a matter of like, oh, we just as a community, we just need to like just keep doing home birth, because that could be, it could be so. Listen, Nature Boy, okay, he tried to do that,
Lack of knowledge. You speaking of someone with just so little knowledge. Nature Boy didn't have no knowledge.
Go into the woods and give birth to his kids, and honey, Velvet almost died.
Terrible example.
Well, no, it's a great example of people thinking that they could just do this naturally, and that if a complication arises, what are you going to do? Well, thank God, there was people in the Mexican community next door that they were able to like find out, and then they had to.
Can I ask you a question?
And deliver that baby at the hospital.
Can I ask you a question?
In the woods and have a baby.
Can I ask you a question?
Very good example of people trying to do something and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Go ahead.
What's the difference between thinking and knowing?
What's the difference between thinking and knowing?
Yeah.
Knowing means that you have the experience and the expertise, and you know what to do and how to go about handling a situation. Thinking means that you have this idea of what is going on and you know what to do, but you don't really have a clue about anything. You just thinking about, you just have an idea. So one is dealing with pragmatism, the other one is dealing with idealism. So thinking will be more of the idealism, whereas knowing will be the pragmatism.
Facts, Queen. I'm glad you shared.
I'm gonna give
she was saying that.
Okay, so my daughter, my dog, right, his eye was gray today, right? It turned gray immediately. Now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it could be his worms, it could be something or whatever. But I took him to the vet, the doctor that it deals with it all the time. Is like, no, he got like some trauma to her eye, and this is an ulcer, and this is how you deal with it. That's knowing versus thinking. Because I would have been like, is it parvo? Is it like some worms? Do I just gonna give them antibiotics? It's like, no, this is what you got to do. like
So,
take.
Nature Boy was over there thinking he can do it, and some people over there that knew they could, they did it. So, however, in hindsight, if those people over there was a part of Nature Boy, we wouldn't be having this discussion. It's lack of knowledge. When you run out of knowledge, you're going to reach out for help. Everybody that we're reaching out to, as far as these doctors in the hospital, they sit down and they read books of people, just like I said. Auntie Poster wrote it down, great grandmother write it down, y'all write down y'all experience, and people go through these books. It's called malpractice. Nobody is a professional at this. Things can go wrong at home and things can go wrong at the doctor. So people don't want things to go wrong at home because it's someone you can actually blame it on. Like, okay, or you can just say, God didn't want this to happen, however the case may be. When it happens at the hospital, you can say they did this.
Well, if you have a doula or a doctor, they're probably like have given birth several times. They know what to look for. They know what cues to like say, okay, this person is a little bit more distressed than normal. They know how to feel for the baby and know that okay, the baby is breech. So this is not just a thing that you just would do willy nilly. This is like I said, childbirth is life or death.
And then also going back to what the sister stated, brother, about the high blood pressure and diabetes. Like there's women that can get diabetes while they're pregnant. As a matter of fact, there's a term for it. I'm looking through this book right now, but there's a term for it.
Gestational diabetes.
What's it called?
Gestational diabetes.
Yes. Yeah, gestational diabetes. Yeah. So yeah, that can happen. So let's just say, that woman going through the process of giving birth and her blood sugar goes up. Right. Or even like when she deal with high blood pressure, right? If she already had high blood pressure prior to her pregnancy, and let's say her blood pressure goes all the way up and she goes into a coma or she passes out, whatever, then what can't you really do that? That's when you need to have that professional around to be able to try to bring her back to life or try to, give some type of medicine or something to, so that way she can continue with the process. So you have to look at those things too. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a situation that comes about where she got a serious medical issue such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or anything like that, and nobody knows what to do in that case where she passes out, then that's where the professional got to come in.
And I wish there was something I could like point to similar to childbirth that a man goes through that that he could say, okay, I can identify with that. But it's almost like, okay, I don't even know what I could like point to and say, okay, imagine this was happening to you. Imagine I don't know, and would you say, well, this is a time we need to like all come together, or do we know that this is like life or death? I wish I could like find that actual example, but I don't know what that is. But this is a life or death. Imagine being shot. I would say, imagine being shot in your midsection. Right? You're not gonna be like, oh, we need to find a way and get like a person that knows about being shot to remove the bullet from the person. No, you have to like go to you have to have a trained professional that understands being shot, that understands, okay, well, is this superficial or is this deeper? Is this a puncture or did it like graze the thing? Or, and so it's not just so cut and dry as, oh, we just need to like come together and just do this and do it ourselves.
Some things are like that because of the knowledge that's around the house. Like Big Mom knew a lot of stuff back in the day. I'm not taking nothing away from doctors.
Big Mom probably knew what she was doing because she did it enough to like know what she was doing, or trained by some. Even
every family has a Big Mom, Queen. That's what
they were trained. Listen, ain't no Big Mom that was not trained to do so.
Right.
Why do we think that because it's Big Mom that she just inherently knew her?
That's what
there was Big Mom. There was Super Big Mom that taught Big Mom how to do it.
You're making my
Big
point.
Mom was a
You're
nerd.
making my point. Why did it stop? You're making my point. Why did it stop? Someone taught, it was passed down. Why did it stop? Why did the knowledge stop?
Because with the pharmaceutical and like the medical industry,
whoa. Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with the house.
Hold on, answer the question, brother.
She left the crib though.
Go ahead. What was you saying, sister?
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that okay, I practice E5, right? So I
You
practice
said you practice what? I didn't hear you.
E5.
E5. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay,
It's
so
African spirituality.
so at the end of the day, like you had people that practiced healing modalities. You had women nurses that were at the pinnacle of healing. But what happened is with the society the way it is that they realized that you know what? No, we need like to put a man at the top of this, and then the man became the doctor. So then therefore the doctor, because now it's not about just the woman being in control of medicine. Now the doctor is in control of it, and that's where you get the pharmaceuticals and this and other. Most people that were healers used herbs and this, that, the other. But what happened is that they wanted to make money off of it. And so now you have a doctor that's not even doing the majority of the work. The nurses do all the work. The doctor comes in, takes your pulse, and leaves out the room. And he charges you like exorbitant amount of money. Meanwhile, the nurses are there that do all the work and sits with the patient the entire time. The doctor comes in and out and goes from room to room and just gives diagnosis and then prescribes medicine. Why can't a nurse do the same thing? Why? Because they found a way to capitalize off of medicine, and that's all it really boils down to.
So it's the
and
knowledge.
this is the game
knowledge.
of capitalism.
So the knowledge got stopped because of capitalism. So the question was, why did the knowledge stop getting passed down amongst the queens from Big Mom to the next generation to the
Well,
next?
the question is, Big Mom, more than likely, Big Mom, more than likely. Oh, you got a troll, A1. My bad.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you got a troll
In the chat.
Yeah, in the chat. My bad. But
Gotcha.
It's on my side, but yeah, you can delete that person.
Yeah. But yeah, more than likely, Big Mom was a nurse. Either she was a nurse or she was a midwife. You know what I'm saying? So it's only so much that Big Mom can give as far as knowledge wise is concerned. The rest, if you trying to learn, that's something that you would have to, like you said, you have to study. You have to go to school for, you know what I'm saying, to get that type of experience, you know. Now I'm not against doula. I'm not against what you're saying, brother, because that's very necessary. Yes, we need at-home births. Right? We need a birth center where, you know, women can go and have a midwife there without necessarily have to deal with a doctor per se. But at the same time, you need a professional on the side just in case something go wrong. Do you know, like, for example, if a woman gives birth to a child, her body can go through a shock. Like, her body goes through a shock, like where she just starts shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would need that doctor there to, like,
All the baby shakes. It happens every time. Once you get, because your body goes through that whole thing. Once the baby is delivered, your body goes to like convulse. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so that right there, that's where you need a doctor, because there's no telling what's gonna happen next.
So y'all believe doctors know everything about the body?
I wouldn't want a doctor. I'd say nurse, because the nurses know more than doctors do. But I'm gonna say this: is that listen, why are we pretending like doctors did not exist before white America?
That's what I'm saying, basically. What makes them a pro?
Who said that's what I was saying? Is that
That's
Connie?
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying, basically. Like us actually passing the knowledge down amongst us, because all they doing is reading books of people that actually passed away before, and they know they can look at the symptoms because they read it before.
They're not just reading books.
Not just reading, they gotta get hands-on experience.
They don't just read books. I just told
hold on. What I'm saying, I say 5 words and get cut. Y'all say 30 sentences and I just listen. I say 5.
Hold on. Listen, you said that they just read books. No doctor.
I didn't even get a chance to finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I was with a nurse for 18 years. I understand. Trust me, I understand y'all queens wholeheartedly. When I got shot and stabbed, I went home because she know how to deal with wounds. You don't have to go if the knowledge is on deck. You don't have to go. Trust me. If the knowledge is there, you don't have to go. I got my finger jammed playing basketball. You don't go to the hospital. Some people do. twist your ankle. A1, you hoop. You didn't twist your ankle and jammed your finger. You didn't go to the hospital every time, did you, King? You
Hey,
pulled it out.
twisting your ankle and jamming your finger, even listen. You
I
can't.
still didn't even get to finish. So what I'm saying is, what they are doing to make us lean on them is they are doing research. They didn't, a male doctor never actually have a baby. So he can actually explain what a woman is actually going through. He only can read about it. That's all I can do as a man. Is only you two queens can explain it to each other in words that I can never imagine. I can read books and tell you this. That's all I can do. And you can look at me and say, how you know? You ain't got a womb. You don't have an ovary. You know, what is you talking about? And you trust in me because I read books. I have a phallus. So what I'm saying is the superior knowledge should be amongst women because they actually go through it. That's all I'm saying. There's no way a man should be superior at delivering babies than a woman, and we need a doctor.
The only thing the doctor does is catch the baby, bro. He does not like do any of the work. The nurses do the work. I mean, have you been in the hospital?
He's agreeing with you two are agreeing on everything, so I'm confused as to what the argument is. Just sitting back and listening, you two are actually saying the same thing. He's saying that we didn't need this before doctors. You're saying that. He's also saying that they used to read, but he left out the hands-on experience. But he was talking about that through doulas and it being passed on in the training. I understand that there, like you say, there was a time before doctors. So who did the doula go to get? The head doula, or
even
like you were saying, DJ Genesis. I just think y'all are actually both in agreement, but somehow found I don't know what the argument is.
Oh no, the argument is that he's saying that people are using that the doctor is doing anything other than what he's doing. The only thing the doctor is there for is to administer medicine and to prescribe medicine, or you know what I'm saying. He's not the one
That's
doing.
not what I'm saying.
So you're saying that we're saying the same thing.
And I was wrong.
The doctor is not there to do the doctor comes in at the end to catch the baby, and then he's able to look at the baby and say, okay, the baby's fine. That's it.
I'm saying he's not needed, and they're saying we gonna need him for something. We gonna need him for something. And I'm like, no,
you're going to need. Hold on, let me say this. You're gonna
we
need
only
a
gonna
doctor.
need him.
Hold on, just hear me out real quick.
I said two things. Okay,
hold on, just hear me out because I gotta stop you right there. Yes, there's gonna be time where you're gonna need a doctor or a nurse because, just like we mentioned, in case something goes wrong with the mother, let's say if she has high blood pressure, right, and
I
her
get
blood
it.
pressure
In
is
case
so
of
high.
lack of knowledge hit the room,
No,
you're gonna need somebody
still
with
gonna
more
need.
knowledge.
Hold on, you're still gonna need somebody professional there because
With more knowledge. Nobody is professional at this. It's malpractice, Queen. Nobody
but
listen.
you
It can
gotta
go.
have
You
hand-on
can go
experience.
get
You
that
got
person,
to
and it can
have
go
hand-on
wrong.
experience with this. You just can't have somebody. You just
How
can't
many
have somebody
men? How many
there.
men deliver babies? How many men have actually had babies?
But
No,
that's the point where I
it's
think
not
you
about
two are
men having
arguing
babies.
past
You
each
still
other
gotta have.
because I think hands-on experience can come with. I mean, before women had hands-on experiences and it was passed down through the ages. I'm not sure if with the Nature Boy experience, the people he went to that were Mexicans were maybe they were some people who lived in a tribe that had the experience. It doesn't. He's saying the experience can be had without a doctor, but you guys are saying no. At some
But what
point, you're
makes
going to
y'all
need a
think that there
doctor.
was no doctor in ancient time periods? There
And
was
it
doctors
was
during ancient time periods. They may not use the term doctor like we use it today, or they may not use the modern medicines that we use today, but they had doctors in ancient time periods. And again, I'm quite sure they didn't just trust any old Joe come around and just deliver a baby or something. No, you got to have hands-on experience. And like the sister said, this is a life or death situation. So that means you have to be very careful. And you have to be very mindful. You have to be able to pay attention to what's going on, because if something goes wrong, then that can cost the life of the baby and the mother at the same time. So
So let
certain
me.
things that you may not be able to know, that a doctor knows, that a nurses know. So yeah, just because you might read something doesn't mean that you may have the full knowledge of everything. You just have enough knowledge to know how to go by the process of being able to deliver a child, but if something go wrong as far as like a medical situation, a serious medical situation, to where that the mother's blood pressure is up or the mother's sugar level is
Now,
high,
even
or
deeper,
let's say she has an effect on her
deeper,
kidneys or something. Yeah.
even deeper, right? So
Can I
you're
ask
in,
a question though?
you're
I
in,
mean,
you're
after
in,
you.
hold on, you're in like a room, right? You're giving birth to a child. The baby gets stuck in the birth canal. Who cuts the person open? The nurse or the doctor?
Mm.
Or what happens is, because here the nurses actually help the doctor because the doctor has a certain level of knowledge, just like you have an anesthesiologist. So the nurse does not administer anesthesia. There's a certain person for each aspect of the medical field, right?
That's for capitalism.
So, well,
That's for capitalism. He
is
can do
it
the
for
same thing.
capitalism, or is it because a person that administers
Create
drugs?
more jobs to get more money. That's yeah.
Okay.
No, a doctor cannot be there to administer the drugs, deliver the baby, make sure that
So
all
before
other.
these roles was administrated, who did it? If we go
There
back
was
to the
there
beginning of
was
time, okay then. So
there
they
was no
made these
there
roles.
was no epidural. There was no anesthesia. You would just, if you didn't do it right, the baby died. You and the mom.
And
So
shout
the
out my
babies did.
homegirl Nisha. I know she's at work at the hospital right now,
Right.
commenting on this, and she says things go wrong with doctors and nurses all the time. It isn't just about the license.
The license.
I'm sure
That's all
she's
I'm
trying to
saying.
say, and I understand. Like I
Thank
see
you.
where you guys are arguing past each other. I think Connie Son's point is, let's say the doctors do have the experience or expertise that you women are looking for and say is needed. How do we get that experience and expertise back to the black community so we don't have to
You gonna have to
rely
go
on
to
the white
school.
supremacist people
You gonna
and
have to
things
go to
of that
school
nature?
for it. You're gonna have to go to school for it. I mean, that's how you're gonna get the expertise. You're gonna have to go to school
I
for
beg
it,
to
and
differ for that. I beg to differ for that too.
yeah, you're gonna have to go to school nowadays.
You have to. How do
You
you
have
do
to.
a C-section?
Yes.
Information.
How okay, listen.
Go ahead. Ask the question so I can answer. Go ahead, Queen.
All right. So just information. So you can you don't have to have any practical knowledge on how to cut open a person's womb and
Yes.
deliver the baby without infecting the person afterwards. There's a whole people that all they do is study how to cut open a person. That's what an obstetrician is, like not a certain a level of a gynecology. Those people not only just know how to deliver a baby in very stressful times. A nurse could be a prenatal nurse. They know certain aspects of the delivery process.
Ooh, you cut out DJ Genesis,
Oh, okay.
but your
But
mic
yeah,
isn't
yeah, but
muted, so she must have lost service or something.
It turned from a question to a statement. I thought it was a question.
but yeah, getting back to her point, she does have a point. Like, let's say if there's a situation where a C-section is needed, somebody got to know how to be able know to where you got to cut at, because you got to be able to find the baby. You know where the baby head is at. You got to make sure that you carefully cut into, the stomach, so that way you won't cut into the flesh of the baby's head.
So how do they
And
learn how to
then,
do this, Tiff?
huh?
How do they learn how to do this? Where do they go to learn how to do this?
They had to go to school. You got to go to school. You got to get some
Hold
training.
on. So schools supply you human beings to cut on, to
You got to
practice
get
this.
hands-on training. It's
No,
like you have to have hands-on
listen to. I
training.
hear
You
you.
can't just
You're going to get hands on training. It's dummies out here. You got dummies you can work on out here. Knowledge is so obtainable now. It's
yes,
at our
I,
fingertips. Like we got so much access to it, but I'm hearing like reluctance to actually you
yes,
know what,
okay.
we
But
can
in
learn.
modern times, brother, listen, brother, you're not listening.
No, we talking about right
Hold on,
now.
just hear me out. In modern times, when it comes to medical, you have to go to school for that. It's not just something that you can just read in the book. I mean, yeah, you can read stuff, you can read information about it, but to get the actual skills, you're gonna have to go to school and you're gonna have to get hands-on experience. Okay, you're gonna have to know how
Is it
to
worth
go
it?
about. Wait, you're
Is
gonna
it
have to
worth it?
know. You're gonna have to know how to go about doing it properly and carefully. Because if you don't, you can mess around and
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
do
kill
something
somebody.
that.
It's very,
Hold on,
very
just give me.
serious.
Hold on. So I'm gonna let you speak afterwards. But if you're not careful how you go about doing this, you can make a serious mistake. You can make a serious mistake to where that it can cost you. It can cost that mother's life. It can cost that child's life. And going back to your point, you're right. Certain doctors and certain nurses, they don't be knowing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They don't have the proper skills. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not totally disagreeing with everything you're saying, but I think what it is that you're not just really seeing what the sister is coming from. As far as what she's stating, she's not saying she's not against with the whole idea of having a doula. She's not against the concept of the fact that we should have the knowledge passed on from Big Mama to, you know, to the rest of the family. But Big Mama got her knowledge from somewhere. Big Mama had to study this. Big Mama had to go to school. Big Mama had to get the education. She just didn't wake up one morning and say, well, I'm just going to go out here and start experimenting on pregnant women. No, she had to get that knowledge. She had to get hands-on experience. So that's what we're trying to say. We're not saying that don't do at home birth at all, or it's not necessary, it's not needed. We're not saying that at all. We're not trying to eliminate that. What we're saying is there's going to be a time where you're going to need a nurse or a doctor in the room because something could seriously go wrong. And what you may not know, or what you don't have the knowledge of, that doctor or that nurse that is trustworthy may know what they're doing because they done did it so many times and they done had that hands-on experience. That's all we saying.
I see the disconnect though. His whole thing is, when did we lose our experience and when did we get disconnected from the knowledge of how to do this? And he's trying to figure out how we can get it back so we don't have to have our sisters on these tables or in these rooms with these bright lights, susceptible to anything that they may want to do, or the pressures like that DJ Genesis was talking about that she was under. I see Nisha right here, and congratulations to her too. She just graduated this year and is working in the nursing field. She says you would be surprised how many people don't have hands-on experience until they work on your sister. And like I say, she's in the hospital right now. She says the entire point. She says that's the entire point of the teaching hospitals. But then I'm thinking like, well, why can't we just go back? That same experience, we can bring it back to our community. It's not like they have a monopoly on the knowledge and the expertise or the experience.
Okay, and let me ask you this, A1. What makes you think that some of the people are not going back and teaching the community about these things? What makes you think that? What makes you think that?
It's not that I don't. It was just the argument was like, that's not what we want to do. You need a doctor and you have to have one. Like that's what was being portrayed to Connie's son, and that's what he was arguing back against.
I mean, in certain situations, yes, that's where the doctor and nurses are going to be needed, you know, because something could.
It's like working on a car. I don't work on cars, but I know a little bit about it. So when I run into a problem, I will go get a guy because I ran out of knowledge. I'm going to get somebody with a little bit more knowledge about the car to finish it off. That's all we doing. So
that's the whole point. That's what we was trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We was trying to say the whole time.
However, when I say 3 things, y'all say a 30. So what I'm saying is this. I wouldn't actually go to Honda. I would go to my uncle. I would keep it in-house first. We're jumping straight to the hospital. We're jumping straight to doctors. Now, the knowledge that Big Papa have of going to school and learning, it's the same knowledge I can obtain too. The same knowledge that Big Mama have is the same knowledge that these queens can obtain too. It's not lost knowledge. It's not ancient knowledge. And it's not obtainable. It's right there. It ain't unobtainable. It's right here in our fingertips. Information is right here. It's abundance of it. So we on the same page. I don't want to hear my queens going through this. I don't want my queen. If a queen giving birth and she have high blood pressure, it's because she had a bad diet. That's simple and plain. Bottom line, like
I kind of see what you're saying too. Like, if the black doctors that we have right now all say, you know what, we're done dealing with you. We're going to take our knowledge back to the black community and then keep expounding on that. And those doctors had people standing behind them. Because that's the only hands-on experience most of these people have is standing in there while you're giving birth. Like when Connie's son was saying he kicked people out the room. like he stripped them of their the experience that they have, because all they have is the books, and then seeing somebody else do it. I mean, there's levels of learning, you know, first reading,
Right.
then watching someone else do it, and then actually doing it yourself.
And then when you
But
go through nursing, you're gonna go through NCLEX, interns. You're gonna go in there and stand a lot of times. You know, I was my girl practice dummy. She put her first IVs in me to draw blood and all that. I was the guy at the house. She didn't have to go to work and actually do that. So she got all her jitteries and her nervousness out at the house. So she went there being a top tier nurse because she worked on it at home. She didn't have to go be nervous poking a stranger.
That died. Sorry about that.
yeah, I figured.
My question is that what is a surgeon? Is a surgeon a doctor or a nurse?
I think she's asking you, Connie, son.
I have no idea.
Most
Say a
surgeons,
doctor.
the doctor, right? And that doctor gets taught and specializes, because just like, okay, so in EFA, right, you have people that are general practitioners of like healing, and then you have people that specialize, right? So all this stuff is really based in African tradition. You know, you have a person that can generally tell you what's going on and generally deal with the problem. Then you have a specialist. So an anesthesiologist is a specialist. Like, okay, Osine is a person that knows herbs, right? So that's a specialized thing. A person that can cut a person open and not kill them, that's a specialty. You know what I'm saying? To be able to operate on a person, that's a specialty. To be able to pull a baby out if they get stuck, that's a person that studied that specialty. Now, nurses a lot of times might be have a specialty in operating room and this, that, the other, but for the most part, majority of nurses they are generalized. They can do anything within all aspects of medical, right? But when you need a specialist to come in and say if something goes wrong, then that's where the doctor comes in. So even if so, what happens is when you go to the hospital for an ailment, right? You have a person, a nurse that comes in, she takes your vital signs, she takes all that stuff and gets a general understanding of what's going on with you health wise. She reports that to the doctor. The doctor, with his knowledge, says, okay, well, his information is based on, okay, what medicine can I administer to fix the problem, whether it's pharmaceutical, right? This is based on pharmaceutical. And then you go to a specialist to actually deal if there's a actual deeper issue that needs to be honed in on and focused on. So if I'm going into the hospital with chest pains, I initially go, the nurse takes my vitals, gets the general understanding of my health, and then she reports that to the doctor. The doctor hones in on what the problem is, and then the specialist deals with the problem. And so that's the same thing with childbirth and anything like that. So if you're having a baby, a doula, I would say, understands generally how to give birth. But once you run into problems, you're going to need a specialist that understands that particular problem to be able to deliver that baby. So say if the baby's breech, it's one thing to say, okay, well, nurses know how to turn the baby or do this, that, the other. But when that baby's not turning, you're going to need a specialist to be able to cut that woman open and still deliver that baby in sound body and everything. So that's what I would say is that that's the difference between levels of the medical, and that happens in any healing practice, is that you have general practitioners and then you have specialists. So that's my explanation.
That happens in life, from basketball to mechanics to artists, all of them, whether a novice, beginner, professional, or specialist. The only way that they arrive at that title is through mistakes and fuck ups. So before that specialist become good at cutting somebody open without killing them, he killed a few people. Yes, he did. You had to mess up. He wasn't perfect every time. If you thinking that a doctor is perfect every time, We have a totally different conversation right now.
Well,
Every
let me tell you
specialist, every
this.
professional you have to get there by missing shots. In order to be good as a shooting, you got to miss. And then you got to realize why you miss. This is what malpractice is. Okay, we're going to put you on this. Then we're going to study. You're going to come back next week. Now we see you got this toe growing out your forehead. We're going to put you on something else. Then you're going to see that toe grow away. Now you got this green spot on your leg. It's all practice.
Yeah, but hold on. How many Marines are snipers because they missed a shot? Are you kidding me?
What do you mean?
How many
That
Marines?
doesn't make no sense.
No, look, listen. If I
A
send you,
Marine and a sniper is two different people.
hold on. No, I'm saying, how many
First
snipers?
of all,
Okay, you're focused on the Marines and sniper. How many
you said it.
snipers?
Hold on, brother. Just hear it out.
The word sniper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not based on how many you missed, but how many you actually got, right? So how can you become a sniper if you're missing shots? You know what I'm saying? People do
How
not.
can you become so hold on? You making my point. So when a sniper first grab his rifle, he's on target every time? Or does it
That's how
come with
sniper.
or does it come with malpractice?
No, honey, that's how they become a sniper because they were in basic sniping. When listen, a person that gets picked out to
Thank
be
you.
a sniper is
Thank you.
based on accuracy, not based on inaccuracy. So that means that you were hitting your target at least 90 to 80 to 100% of the time, or not very close to very accurate.
Out of how many shots?
People, it doesn't matter. The people that didn't,
It
they don't.
doesn't matter.
Oh, listen, the people that didn't hit the shot don't get called to
Wait
be
a
a
minute. Wait a
sniper.
minute.
You're not understanding me.
You're making
People
my
that,
point. You're
no,
making my
I'm trying to
point.
hear what she's saying. I'm trying to hear what she's saying because she was
I'm
trying to get
trying
to
to
it.
understand what she's saying. She's saying the man had to miss in order to start to hit the target when you start
no,
to
they
hit.
don't. No, you're missing what I'm saying.
No, you're saying that when the
No,
hold
you're
on,
not
let's go
telling
back.
me
Let's
what
go
I'm
back.
saying.
Let's go
Hold on,
back.
hold on. Y'all both
Go back.
talking at the
Go
same
back,
time.
Trey.
Let her say what she had to say.
She's saying when a person grab a gun, they're accurate off rip. They don't practice or nothing. That's how they get to be a sniper. They don't
Okay,
practice or nothing.
no. That
Not
she
what I'm
was basically saying that they have to go through the basic
Exactly. And
training.
I'm basically saying that when he cuts somebody open, he's going to kill a few people before he learn how to get it right.
saying.
You
Right.
saying
Okay.
that's not true.
Well, hold on. We're in the medical industry. Hold on. Let me say this. If that happens, right, where you kill a few people, you can eventually lose your license. You can lose your
Eventually,
license.
but you killed a few.
No, listen. What I'm trying to explain to you is that snipers don't get picked because they miss the shot. People get picked to be a sniper because every time they hit, they have a accurate.
Because they got good at it, not because they
No, not
practice off
because they
top.
got. No, listen. I was in the military.
God.
Let her land her plane, Connie, son.
Listen, people that actually, when they pick the snipers out, it's because when everybody else was shooting, these particular people had like an accuracy rate off rip at almost like 90%. Then they go to sniper school, and now it's like 99%. So it's not like they're so the thing is that they don't. So you're not gonna be average and become a sniper. Same thing with like a surgeon. You don't. They're not gonna like have an average person become a no. That's because they have to be very. They go to class to learn how to be very with their to cut a certain way. They cut cadavers first. They don't just go right up into the field and start cutting open bodies. They go and they cut dead bodies open first, and then they have to see who like got the smoothest hand, and then okay, those people pass the grade. They don't just pass people off and say, "Oh well, when you get done killing people, then we're gonna then you're a surgeon." No, like no, you don't start practicing on actual patients. Like we don't start shooting if you're a sniper on real people. You actually shoot at the range, and based on how many times you hit the target makes you a sniper. You don't just go out and just go into the field and they give you an assignment and say this is the person you need to hit first, because that would be crazy. So that doesn't make any sense what you said.
Y'all ready now? Thank you for making my point, Queen. You said that everything in a circle, you brought it right back around. I appreciate you.
Hey.
I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Is that you're saying that like people just practice and on people like that they kill a bunch of people first?
No,
No,
y'all, you taking the literal because y'all won't let me.
they kill a bunch of people
See
first
what I'm
and
saying? Okay,
get
go ahead.
better at it. That's not how they do it. No. They don't practice on actual targets. They practice on fake things, and then they exude their skill, and then they get sent out into the field. Same thing with a doctor or a surgeon. So, but what are we getting at here? The objective I was talking about is that you have a specialist and you have a general practitioner. Like, okay, I'm in the military. I'm a general practitioner. Now, if I would have hit my targets when I was in basic training, they probably would have whispered in my ear and say, you need to come and become a sniper, because when I saw you practicing, you was hitting about 99% of your targets. So what happened with me is that instead of that, like I was top of my class in whatever, and so they whispered in my ear and said, you need to go to a special duty assignment. And that's because of like whatever was going on at the time. They said, okay, you were hitting the numbers. So it's not a thing, a matter of like you just get chosen to be whatever. It's about what skill set you have. Certain people have that skill set off rip, just like a person, Beyonce, right? Everybody can't be Beyonce. You know, you can sing, and there's Beyonce. That's like a superstar. So those are the ones that become the surgeons. They're the superstars in the medical field that could, like, cut open a person and not kill them. So that's what I'm trying to bring across, is that like it's not just a matter of like anybody can like just go be at home and start operating on each other, and no, it takes a certain type of a skill set to do that. So we can't just diminish these medical people that are doing this work and have taken their time out. We have to understand that there's a certain level of skill set. There's a reason why there's multiple people in the operating room. There's a reason why there's multiple people there to deliver the baby, because anything can happen at any time. Now, like I said, the doula in a healthy pregnancy, if there's no complications, is a great option. However, what can happen is that if there is, and that's why it's great to have a doula, that she understands the cues of, okay, this is beyond my pay grade. I need to like hire someone else. Now, just say, okay, big mama, she might know the same thing. She might be like a natural doula. But to say that just anybody could do that, no, this is a life or death situation. You need to have a very keen eyes on what's going on, because anything can happen. A person's blood pressure can go up, and if you don't understand what to look for, you won't even know what's happening, because blood pressure is silent, so you don't even know.
That's silent killer.
You saying the same
I
thing?
also want to say this.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying the whole time. Y'all both been saying the same thing the whole time.
Yeah, and I also want to say this: a woman, when she pregnant, she can have high blood pressure, and it don't just necessarily come from diet either. But yeah, she can end up with high blood pressure while she pregnant. So
that's facts.
Yeah, the kidneys can like go like kind of like stop working, and then stop pumping the blood out your system and peeing and everything, and then all that blood build up in your system. That's why they had to give me LASIK really hardcore, because it wasn't like I was just sitting there shoving food down my throat. It's just like the my kidneys was like, man, bump this. You know what I'm saying? Because pregnancy is very hard on the body. That's why the main thing I really wanted to come up here and do is encourage men to be there during their children's birth and be there for the mother. Beyond all this, the man's presence is so important. That's really important.
That's facts. That's facts, actually. And I support that that movement that you're pushing.
Yeah, I second that too.
Yeah, I don't. I was gonna say I definitely don't think Connie's son disagree with it. I know he wouldn't. I know he'd be in any man's chest telling him.
I'm Connie's son.
Yeah.
I'm my mama's son. I'm Connie's son. I don't play like that. I support the queens. I love my queens. I don't play. But we basically saying the same thing. What I was basically saying was the 10%. The 10% of the shots that he missed was the ones. That's why they work on cadaver dogs, because they don't want to feel like the pressure of actually taking a life. However, the cadaver dog got a life too, and a lot of them go to the graves because of a slip up or a cut. His hand wasn't as steady, and things of that nature. So everybody practice to become specialists. It's all I'm saying. You have to practice to become a specialist. I'm not saying that nobody is born as a specialist. Nobody born knowing every bone in the body. A lot of these things have to be introduced to us, So it's basically saying that we all individuals have to go through trial and error to obtain the knowledge that Big Ma had, that Big Papa had, that the sniper got, that Stephen Curry got, that Beyonce have. Beyonce have a machine behind her, to say the least. Is she the best singer in the world? I beg to differ. There's some people that will blow her out of the water, but they less famous. So that's debatable. However, when it comes to the bodies and us actually knowing how to take care of it, the moment that we run out of knowledge is the moment that we have to go get more knowledge, not because it's above the doula pay grade, it's above her knowledge level. Because if she knew what was going on, it ain't got nothing to do with money. It's all knowledge based at the end of the day. That's all I was saying.
Hey.
They might not see my comment because it's in my chat, but I said you can't compare plastic surgery to a C-section. I mean, there's like 2 ways to do a C-section. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? But plastic surgery, they can like wing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why now plastic surgery is practice, but C-sections and all that type of stuff, like general surgery, like when
let me ask you this:
methodical way that they have to do things in order to not kill the person.
Do you think a plastic surgeon know how deep to go to not kill a person? Do you think a plastic surgeon know the layers of the skin, where to cut at? Do you think they got that knowledge as well?
Yep. However, they also do a lot of more practicing than I would say a person doing a C-section.
That's a simple question. Do you think
no,
they
plastic
know?
surgery is not life or death. It's surface, it's cosmetic, but I'm talking about like C-section stuff. I'm talking about
Do
like.
you think a plastic surgeon know the levels of the skin, how deep to cut?
They do.
Okay, they can do a C-section then. Simple.
No, they cannot.
Hey, sister, I just want to say that you said that plastic surgery can be like the devil. In some situation, it can be. You know what I'm saying? It could be a serious situation where if something terribly goes wrong to where the doctor is not performing it properly, then yeah, it can be a serious situation to where somebody can end up dying. Or if you get too many plastic surgery, that it can do something to the body. It can like affect the main organs because of all that surgery that's taking place.
Blood clots, things like that. But I'm saying is that from a superficial level, you're trying to say that a plastic surgeon could also like cut open a uterus too?
Oh no! Oh no!
What?
No, hell no.
No, you can't. A plastic surgeon cannot perform a C-section. First of all, your intestines and everything. A person needs to be methodical, know how not to cut an intestines, cut through certain like arteries and nerves. So that's a specified thing. That's why there's plastic surgery, and then there's general surgery. There's different specialties. See, that's what I'm trying to explain is that they have different specialties in medicine where people only focus on that. Why? Because if you just are a general practitioner and you try to do surgery, you could fuck a person up because people are in medicine, they focus on just that one thing, how to cut open a wound and not kill the person. Plastic surgeon, how to cut a person's face off and draw it down and pull it back up and probably not sever the nerves of the face. You know what I'm saying? So, that's like a different type of surgery than you're saying that a plastic surgeon should be able to like do a C-section. Hell no. I wish I would go to a plastic surgeon and tell them to do my C-section.
We're not saying that they should. We're saying that they could. I'm not a mechanic, but I can do my brakes.
Absolutely.
I'm not a mechanic, but I can do my brakes and oil change. I'm not saying that they should. We're saying what people are capable of. They're good with a scalpel. They're good with it, and they know how.
No.
I'm not saying there should. Please don't take it out of context. They're
Being
very
able to
good with a scalpel.
Not the same thing as being able to know.
I didn't say they was the same.
Yes,
I didn't say they was the same. You're putting that in my mouth. I didn't say that. I didn't say none of that.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come over here to argue. I was really the whole point of me coming over here mainly was to stress the importance of fathers being there. And that's because I know, and I've been there before. I've been alone. Well, not alone. He was there. You know what I'm saying? But when everybody said, "Hey, come on, let's go," the baby was born. You know, that's what happens, right? The baby comes out, everybody leaves, and they leave.
I see what you're saying, DJ Genesis. You're right.
The baby is born. Everybody's like, "Yay, baby born! Bye!" And the mom's sitting up there, and they're alone with the doctor.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I made sure I stayed. I made sure my baby didn't leave the room. I stayed the whole 3 days. I made sure he didn't poke him with nothing. Don't bring none of them syringes in here. We didn't even sign. I didn't let the mother of my child sign birth certificates or nothing until we got home because of the mental stress. They be trying to shove that paperwork in on you.
I'm trying to tell you, that was my
option.
Yes. And you'll be up there on all type of
meds,
medications and everything, and they'll be shoving all type of paper. Okay, we get your placenta, we get this, sign this.
The placenta came home with us in the cooler, all of that. We ain't let them take none of that. Like
they will have
right.
All type of shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the devil come in and say, sign part of Satan's fucking order. You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They had you doing all type of wild stuff, signing stuff, and being labored.
Shout out Nisha Shiraz. She says, "You take anyone board certified in an emergency."
I would say this is that when I busted my head open during a car accident, I was glad to have the plastic surgeon there to sew me up. You know, not just a general practitioner, because that plastic surgeon, if you see this thing on my head right now, it don't got no keloids in it. He knew how to sew it up from the inside and do some kind of butterfly stitch, whatever. And sometimes you can't even tell unless you look real close. I had my whole head was just cracked open. You know what I'm saying? He was able to pull that whole thing together. And so now for that, yes, plastic surgeon all the way. I would not just want anybody to sew that up.
Point made, point taken.
Shout out to that surgeon.
I feel you on that. Definitely. And you know what? That's a wrap, family. What a conversation today. Huge love and gratitude to Connie's son, to Tiffany today for coming back for episode 3 of her show, and DJ Genesis for bringing their wisdom, their energy, and their truth to the panel. We covered culture, health, wellness, identity, and everything in between. And you already know when Connie's son or these two brilliant women speak, they always leave the room better than they found it. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow it, follow the show, hit that bell so you get a notification every time we go live. Make sure you subscribe to @Titans Debate League on YouTube. And until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and as always expect the unexpected. Any closing? Let's go around and do some closing remarks. We'll start with Connie's son. Oops, I dropped my phone.
I appreciate y'all for listening. It was nice building with y'all, queens. I want to let everybody know you can do anything. You can't do everything. And math don't care about feelings. Don't feel good about shit that ain't adding up.
Powerful words there. Closing remarks, DJ Genesis?
Same thing I've been saying the whole time. Fathers, be there for your fathers. Be there for your children. You know, I don't care if you don't like the mom and she done pissed you off and you got a new boo thing over here and woo woo. If she's saying that that's your child or whatever, don't because you know what, that trauma, you might not be dealing with it right now, but later on in life, because trauma doesn't leave unless you know how to remove it. You know, when I was doing stuff with my godmother, she's like a shaman. You know, she was able to remove, you know, because I was going through like anger or like she knows how to remove things from the body. And she did like a whole like neuro-linguistic programming that like took me back into the first time I felt pain. and I saw myself inside the womb. Pain, like,
Sorry about that.
hey,
Apologies. Sorry. Go ahead.
doing some sign I'm just joking.
No, I was trying to load it for
No, I'm
for
saying,
after. Sorry
like
about that.
pain and any emotion that you have in your body, right? It stores you know, if you like ever felt sad, it goes inside your body at some point. And the thing is that, you know, that trauma, unless you know how to remove it, it stays with you the rest of your life. And that's why even now we react to something certain ways. Like there might have been a time where you skinned your knee and you felt angry about that, right? And so when a person is yelling at you, or you feel mad, it reminds you of when you skinned your knee. And so you feel that pain in your knee, and then you get to lashing out. So the bottom line is all this stuff is relative. And so therefore, like if you have a child come into this world, you need to be there to make sure that this child is not coming into a world in trauma, because you're going to deal with that in the future. When you try to say something and you trigger an emotion and they have to go through that emotion, all that stuff is connected. So that's what my main thing I wanted to like bring to the table. So.
Powerful.
Oh, okay. Also, I just wanted to say something. I appreciate the sister and the brother coming up here to dialogue. It was a great conversation, interaction. Thank you, A1, for having me up here. And I just want to say that I want to encourage our people to please get involved in studying STEM. Get involved in STEM. That deals with science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's really it's very important. We need it because, you know, we use STEM throughout our entire lives. You know, we use some form of science, we use technology, we use engineering, and of course we use numbers, we use mathematics. So we need that. So I want to advocate that for our people. It's very important, you know what I mean? So just like you need the knowledge about holistic healing, that's very important, but you also need the knowledge about the medical field and how things go in the medical industry. Also, you need to have that knowledge about health and wellness, just overall in general. So I would encourage people to stay on top of that. Just continue to study, continue to educate yourselves, um, go to school. If you got the ambition and drive, whatever you want to major in, go to school for it. You know what I'm saying? Go to, I don't care if it's like a technical school, I don't care if it's a university. I encourage people to go to school to, you know, get certified, get their degrees. Um yeah, because we need more and more people that's involved in the STEM. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more people that's engineers. We need more people that are physicists. We need a lot of that. So yeah, that's the only thing I really want to say. But overall, I appreciate this interaction. I'm glad that I brought this subject up because I wish that more and more of us can really talk about the importance of maternal health. And I wish I could expound a little bit on the concept of dealing with the postpartum depression. Because that's another thing that's very important to talk about. But yeah, you know, maternal health is very important, you know, because a lot of things that Black women or just women in general have to go through, like the things that we have to deal with our own bodies. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a gift and it's a curse at the same time. But it's nature. You know what I'm saying? This is nature. So everything that we go through as women, from mental, emotion, and physical, you know, that's all part of nature. That's all part of our being. So it's important that we know, you know, what's going on with us as women. But it's also important, like the sister said, that the men be involved, especially during the childbirth, so he can be aware of what's taking place and what's happening, so that way he'll have the knowledge and he needs to know what's going on. But yeah, it's very important that we know about these type of subject matter. It's really important. I mean, stay on top of your health. Like, health is your wealth. You know what I'm saying? We have this thing of not going to doctor's appointment as much because we have a lack of trust of going to the doctors and not get that. And that is called atrophobia. Atrophobia means that the fear of going to doctors. However, you gotta stay on top of your doctor's appointment. You gotta go get the physical when it's necessary, you know, because you never know what's going on with you. You never know what's taking place with your body, you know. So it's important to go get that physical once a year. It's important to get that checkup every 6 months if you can. You know, you gotta stay on top. So you, just because you might feel healthy and look healthy, does not always mean that doesn't mean that nothing is going on or something can't be wrong with the body, because something can go wrong and you just don't know it, you know. And going back to high blood pressure is a silent killer. You know what I'm saying? High blood pressure is a silent killer. I'm a person that's dealing with high blood pressure, so I have to take medication every day. But yeah, you have to stay on top of your health. So that's all I want to say on that. Again, thank you, A1. I hope we can do this again.
Appreciate you. Yeah, next Tuesday, same time.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, we'll make that your time slot. Tuesdays at 9, so they can know when to expect you. A lot of my followers are loving the content you're bringing, so you know we're definitely going to keep it coming for them. Appreciate all the Titan family who tuned in, and make sure you subscribe. The link is right there at Titans Debate League on all platforms. That's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. That's where you can find me. And we're going to end out with a song from Connie's son, who actually was on the panel today with these two brilliant ladies that we had up here. And you guys, and my motto: treat your smile like your money, never let them steal it, and always remember to be you. And everybody have a blessed rest of the night.
Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love them, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin, that's gon' pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.